Hey legends. So what should you do if you've asked your authentic self a question and it's not giving you an answer? So 8 reasons your authentic self won't give you an answer. Number 1, you're not open, willing and ready to change. So your authentic self can be like a vault. It can lock itself closed, and if it feels that you're not open, willing and ready to change, it's almost like it's not going to waste its breath. It's not going to tell you something if you're not going to listen to it and take action upon it. Right? So the way to become more open, willing and ready can be to do more personal development work. Go and see people, go and talk to people, do more mindfulness, more meditation. Anything that you can do that's going to better yourself will take you along the path to becoming open, willing and ready to change, at which point the authentic self is more likely to talk to you and give you answers, direction and guidance. Reason number 2, trapped emotions. So in life, our buttons get pushed, and when a button gets pushed, it's like this imaginary door opens and a negative emotion comes in and the door gets shut, and the emotion gets trapped inside of us like a prisoner or a hostage inside of us. And imagine if that happens a few times. So a few buttons get pushed and each time a different emotion gets stuck in there, and it's like they build upon layer, and then all of a sudden you can't access your authentic self. You've blocked it out. There's too many trapped emotions in the way. To get rid of the trapped emotions, my resilience techniques can release trapped emotions. So it's like it opens the door and clears out the negative emotions that gets trapped. It's like an emotional detox, so that can help. Reason number 3, your authentic self won't talk to you is because the ego is too loud. That negative voice in your head, the ego, has become too loud. It's trying to take over, or it's already taken over. Now, the authentic self voice, I hear mine as a voice. Some people feel it as a sense, but mine's a voice. It doesn't yell and it doesn't shout, right? It's not going to try and talk over the top of the ego's voice. The authentic self is a very calm, confident voice, right? So it's not loud. So if the ego's voice is too loud, again, you can use my resilience techniques. It can switch off that voice so that everything becomes still and quiet, and then you can really listen in to what your authentic self is saying. All right. Reason number 4, the question you've asked is actually not important. So by the authentic self remaining silent, it's saying to you the question you're asking is actually not important, right? Maybe the question you're asking is important to your ego, so your ego wants to know, but the authentic self's saying, you know what, it's just not important. It's not part of your life's purpose. It's not critical, you know that information. It's just not important. So by saying that, the authentic self is also saying that you now no longer need to worry about it or think about it because it's not important. All right, reason number 5, you need to ask a better question. So maybe the question that you've asked your authentic self, maybe it wasn't clear enough. Maybe it wasn't clear on the answer that you're trying to get from the authentic self. So you need to think of a way of rewording the question so it's clearer and more accurate as to the answer you want to receive from your authentic self. Reason number 6, maybe your authentic self isn't talking to you because you're going to have a life experience that will give you the answer, right? So it's like your authentic self isn't going to give you the answer ahead of time, because if you know the information ahead of time, it could interrupt or disrupt the way you think and the way you experience a certain situation, and your authentic self wants you to experience it without knowing the answer in advance. So you've just got to trust that the answer is going to be given to you in that certain situation, and you'll know it then. Reason number 7, we need to talk to someone. So just by talking to someone, you know, when you're talking to someone and you ask them a question and you're like, and they're giving you the answer and you're like, yeah, I agree, right? It's that when we're feeling that yes, like we agree, that's called resonating. We're resonating with that person. It's that strong, we just feel that yes, that agreeance inside of us. And then sometimes we're talking to someone like, nah, strongly disagree. I don't agree with what you're saying. I just feel like the answer is no. Right, but either way, you're gaining clarity. You're gaining clarity of what your answer is by feeling that agreement and that yes, they've given you the answer, and by the other person saying no, well then that means your answer is the opposite to what they're saying, or it's different to what they're saying. So either way, that can help you gain the insight to the question that you've just asked. And then the eighth reason your authentic self won't talk to you, maybe you need expert advice. Right, so you need to find someone who's been there and done it, or who's gone through the same or a very similar challenge to what you're going through. They're the best person to give you the answer, not someone who hasn't been through it and doesn't know and doesn't understand or can't relate or connect to you. You need to get expert advice. All right, so just to recap what the 8 reasons are that your authentic self may not give you answers or talk to you. Number 1, you're not open, willing and ready to change. Number 2, you have trapped emotions. Number 3, your ego's voice is too loud. Number 4, the question you've asked is actually not important. Number 5, you need to ask a better question. Number 6, your life experience will answer the question in your upcoming life experiences or get answered for you. Number 7, you need to talk with someone so that you can either agree with them or disagree with them to gain the clarity and the insight. And number 8, you need expert advice. So talk to someone who knows the answer. They've been there, they've done it, they can relay that answer to you, they can articulate it into a certain way so that you understand, and then you can gain the insight and answer that way. All right, guys, hope that helps.